It is very saddening to me. A lot of times laying in bed at 2 a.m. at night, I'm like, man, how do I get people to read the government's own documents, all these think tanks, own publications? They're calling us scum. They're calling us slaves. They're saying they're going to eradicate us. They're brainwashing the kids that humans are bad and we've got to be gotten rid of. They're selling us their culture of death and that resource use is bad. And some people are waking up. A lot of folks are waking up, but I don't think fast enough. Alan Watt, we're going to calls in a moment. In this segment and the next, I'm going to let you go at 5 after. We appreciate your time. Max Kaiser's coming up. But I mean, in closing, before we talk to Lily and Sherry and a few others, is that the leg up that they have? I mean, is that their ace in the hole, that we have a blind spot, that there could be a group this evil operating like this, even though they're admitting they're doing it, that the common person just is so subconsciously afraid they can't admit this to themselves?
That's part of it. It's denial that such monsters. See, the average person can understand the little wrongs they do in their own life, the little lies, the white lies, etc., that they do in their own life. They cannot understand people who can do the big lie. Adolf Hitler said that. If you have to tell a lie to literally control the people's minds, you tell a massive lie. And then people will say it must be true. It must be true that Al-Qaeda is terrorizing the entire planet, because no one would change our whole way of life across the world if it wasn't. I couldn't do that. Therefore, no one else could do that or would do that. That's how we think. That's why psychopaths can and have proven down through history that they can do these incredible things and get away with it. They do intuitively, like a certain species of animal. They know how the average person thinks and how to manipulate the mind. That's a gift that all psychopaths have. They're born with this gift. No one has been able to explain why, but I think it's hereditary, to be honest with you. They understand the basic thinking patterns and nature of ordinary people. They don't feel what you feel, but they study you. They watch your emotions and how you interact, and they know perfectly well intuitively that they can literally manipulate us. It
is a predatory subclass. It's what is it, about 1 in 100 people is a psychopath, and it's a predatory mutation or class. It's a Homo sapiens sapien that engages in feeding and predatory activities on its own species. It is a cannibalistic psychic vampire.
It is, and as I say, it has certain traits that are almost gifts. They have the ability to, as I say, understand how you think, how you feel, and how, especially, to manipulate an individual or whole masses of people with a talent they don't have to even work on. It's hereditary with them. Adolf Hitler had it too. He knew how to change the mentality of an entire nation by saying a lot of the right things at the time to get them on board, but always having another agenda, another vision of where he was going to take them.
Well, take Dick Cheney saying torture is good,
yes.
And then when they get caught saying we didn't do torture, and then relabeling torture as just interrogation,
yes.
And then now they say, by the way, the police are now going to torture you. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's in the news, federal court rulings, state courts are saying, and then look at how in just 7 years, our journey to the dark side is nearing complete.
Yes, and look at all the media entertainment under the guise of drama to train the public that torture is okay. We've had years of this training through fictional works that seem very real to the person who gets absorbed in them. This is all a science that's been used on the public. There is no safe entertainment out there.
Alan, stay with us for another 5 minutes on the break. I'm going to jam in a few calls from Lily and others that are patiently holding here on Genesis. Then Max Kaiser, more on the economy coming up. Again, a globalized, standardized, zoned, regulated system where it makes you dependent on the state. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
What can you do to keep you and your family safe from the resistant new strains of deadly bacteria and viruses? Check out supernaturalsilver.com today, or visit the link on Infowars.com to find out more about this incredible new silver compound. The new silver solution is a natural antibiotic that is clinically tested to kill viruses, germs, bacteria, and yeast safely. This new technology has proven itself to be a formidable weapon against bio-threats of today and tomorrow. The new Silver Solution Gel has been shown to disinfect topically and keep the area sanitized for up to 4 hours. The new Silver Solution is a highly effective, potent nanoparticle solution that is lethal to bacteria, yeast, and viruses. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and see the amazing line of products they have available. Check out the patented new Silver Solution today. Click on the link and check out the uses for new Silver Solution. Order this extra line of defense today by going to supernaturalsilver.com. That's supernaturalsilver.com today.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Man, I am excited about Max Keiser coming up, but I don't want to say bye to Alan Watt, and I want to take your calls, and I want to talk about all this. Me and Alan were just talking about during the break about how I'd like to meet him sometime, but I'm not allowed to go to Canada. There's no law or rule. I just get arrested if I try to go. And then the UK papers are announcing only absolute, the term they use is, what's the term? Travel that is essential will be allowed under the new greenhouse gas caps. And
That's
it's all...
right.
It's all happening.
The Minister of the Environment came out and said that eventually even all tourism will be gone. Authorized travel for big business purposes, international corporations, government only.
But the environmentalists to check things, they'll be allowed to go to certain facilities and things. I mean, what sickening, degenerate control freaks. Let's talk to Lily in North Carolina. Lily, you're on the air with Alan Watt.
Hi, Alex. I just want to say I listen to your show every day for the latest thing. Anyway, I just want to say that it's hard to wake people up until you tell them, you know, they don't want to believe the government is so evil. But anyway, all the governments of the world.
That's because they haven't studied history.
Well, they need to read the general chronology of events put out by Leading Edge Research Group. It's fantastic. It goes back and tells you all about the eugenics plans, sterilization in the sanitariums, and it even tells you about what they're going to teach in schools and divide the one-room classroom. It's fantastic. If they could read this, they would understand just how much evil is out there around them.
No, I hear you.
Not just in the government. Not just in the government, around them.
Well, no, they have NGOs, the corporations. It's all one thing. And they have non-governmental organizations carrying it out. Thank you, Lily. Yeah, Alan, can you comment on that? I mean, these NGOs in the U.S. and England and Canada, they all manage local homeland security, and it's private groups like City Year that answer to the president, but they're under a private corporation with David Gergen in red and black uniforms.
Yes, and once again, they said at the top a long time ago, and Margaret Thatcher did admit this on national television in Britain. She belongs to a parallel government. They run along with the foundations. The big foundations are the parallel government masters. They're also the top bankers like the Rockefellers. And they finance the NGOs that appear to speak on behalf of the general public. That's the trick of it. It's a very clever 180-degree manipulation of democracy. They don't speak for the public. They take their orders from the foundations. And that is copied after the Soviet system. Soviet men ruled by councils. The Politburo picked the leaders of the NGOs for the Soviet Union. They would demand certain laws.
And more than that, it creates an illusion of local business and government and industry when really it's all their chosen facade for society, and then they'll come in and burn you out now. A lot of these NGO groups, literally, this is in the news, they're just taking over everything. This is their boots on the ground, and they know how to make it, quote, free market. Like, take the surveillance industry.
Yep.
The surveillance industry, they all, the corporate government, with a revolving door, gives themselves the contracts for the police state.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. It's incredible organization. To say that the capstone is a very good emblem, because everything beneath it is the pyramid. As long as the capstone's in charge of all sides, if you down a pyramid at all sides, all four sides, you are in charge of the entire direction of the planet. And they certainly have done this for a long time. These are the same guys who gave the Soviet system the experiment, they called it. These are the guys who set up the